Welcome to Think IP, the podcast where we unlock the hidden value in your business. Did you know without intellectual property, franchising would not exist? I'm Dr. M, and today we're diving into the critical world of franchise agreements, goodwill valuation, and how contractual terms impact how much money you get when you sell out. So whether you're a founder, an innovator, or a business leader ready to scale and leverage your valuable intellectual property, this episode is for you. So stick around till the end, because this might just be the game changer you've been looking for. Let's talk about franchise agreements, the lifeline of any franchise business. These contracts aren't just paperwork, they're the blueprint for success, outlining everything from term lengths to renewal rights and goodwill valuation. And trust me, if you're a franchisee, you want to know exactly what you're signing up for. Goodwill is a tricky concept. It's not just a number, it's the lifeblood of a business, the intangible value built through brand reputation, customer loyalty, and operational consistency. But here's the catch. How that goodwill is handled depends entirely on the franchise agreement. First up, acquisition. When you're granted a franchise, whether directly from the franchisor, a master franchisee, or a sub-franchisee, goodwill is tied to the term length, renewal rights, and the leasehold site, if applicable. The longer your initial grant and renewal options, the more potential goodwill you can accumulate. Next, assignment. If you transfer your franchise rights to another party, the value of that goodwill depends on the unexpired term. The shorter the remaining term, the less valuable the business becomes to buyers. This is why franchisees always prefer contracts with liberal renewal rights to maintain investment value. Transfer versus conditional transfer. A simple transfer means you're selling what's left of your term. Buyers usually won't pay much for a license that's halfway through its contract. A conditional transfer, however, involves the franchisor granting a new full-term license to the buyer, making the business more valuable. Surrender and buyback. If a franchisee wants out, they can either surrender their rights back to the franchisor or sell under a pre-approved condition. The best case scenario, the franchisor finds a new buyer and you walk away with a solid return. Worst case, the franchisor buys back the business at a lower value. Expiry and closure. What happens when a term expires? If no renewal rights exist, the franchisee walks away with nothing. Sometimes compensation or goodwill payouts happen, especially if the franchisee had strong performance records. In closure events, franchisees and franchisors mutually agree to shut down, often due to poor location performance or market shifts. And finally, termination. This is the big one. Most franchise contracts state that termination results in zero compensation for the franchisee. But here's where it gets complicated. Some franchisors create internal policies allowing compensation under special circumstances. Understanding your contract's stance on termination can be the difference between a smooth exit and financial disaster. At the end of the day, goodwill valuation in franchising is a complex beast. It's influenced by ownership structures, contract renewals, operational performance, and external market conditions. And while it might seem like just another clause in a contract, it's the factor that determines whether your franchise investment holds strong value or fades into nothing. If you want to dive deeper into today's topic, hit the subscribe button and leave your email address in the comments section, or go to thinkip.au to get a free copy of the Think IP book. Over 300 pages of practical, high-value insights. And if you found today's discussion valuable, share this episode with fellow entrepreneurs and business leaders. Until next time, think IP, because it pays.